guys, this is Deb. Hey, I was trying to go live in the Facebook group. However, it was giving me bad Wi-Fi. So I am recording, recording this video, and then I will post it. So what I wanted to go over with you guys today or show you are 3 different 3D projects that we're going to make that make awesome stocking stuffers. So we are going to go ahead and dive right in. So the first one we're going to do is this adorable little treat box. And these are things that you guys could stuff with money. Little earbuds would fit in here, candy, lots of different little treats. So I'll show you some of those, but we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you the measurements as we go through each one of these. So the first thing you're going to need is a piece of cardstock that measures 7 3/4 by 2. And I went ahead and already actually scored these, so we don't need our paper cutter right now. So it is 7 3/4 by 2 inches. And then it's scored at 3 1/2 and 4 1/4. Then you're going to need a piece of designer series paper, and this is 6 1/4 by 1 3/4. And this is scored at 1 inch, 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and 4 1/2. Okay, and all the paper I'm using is from, let me grab it here for you. It is from the Sentimental Christmas. This is by far, my absolute favorite designer series paper. There are just some beautiful sheets. One of them we're actually going to use. This is the other sheet. If you are a scrapbooker, which I love to scrapbook, this is an absolutely gorgeous page. And it's beautiful even to make cards. You could cut this up and get so many different card layouts. So anyhow, that's where all the paper's coming from for these 3 projects. Okay, so these are all pretty simple so that you can easily duplicate them. So I'm just going to burnish these score lines on both of them. And this one I can pretty much just fold down. All right. And then you're going to need a tag topper. Now, it doesn't have to be a tag topper. You could use just a corner rounder, but you need a hole in the middle there. So whatever you prefer using. But we're just going to slide this right in and punch that out and put in the other side and punch this side out. There you have it. And that is done. This punch goes exactly 2 inches, so this is perfect. You'll see you get nice clean edges on both sides. All right, so now all we need to do is adhere our piece of cardstock right to what's going to end up being our treat holder here. So we're going to grab our adhesive, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some right on the middle square there. And I'm going to line it up right at the bottom of that first score line. And just make sure it's straight there. And then I'm just going to press that down. I have a tendency sometimes when I'm pressing to wiggle things around a bit. And then what we're going to do, is we're just going to move this over, and we're going to bring these 2 pieces together, and that is going to form our wrapper around our box. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a little adhesive on this furthest tab here. And we're just going to go ahead and bring that around. And we're going to bring our box so it's up, okay? And we want to make sure that we're all the way to the bottom. Now the last one I did, I left a little bit of a border, see that? And I kind of like that, but I thought this one we would take all the way to the edge. And then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm just gonna add adhesive to this last half. So I don't want to add it to the part that's going to be open. I'm going to wrap that around, line up the edges there of the designer series paper. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put my hand in here and just line up those pieces. This is where it's nice if you are using, so I need to make sure it's lined up straight there and then lined up on both edges here. But you can make, excuse me, I think you can get 2, 4, 6, you can get 5 of them out of one piece of cardstock. So because your measurements are 7 3/4 by 2, which means you can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? And you still have an inch left over. So there you have it. Now we're going to add a little decoration on it, and then we're going to put a piece of ribbon. But what I wanted to do was to show you kind of some things that might fit in here. So these little Kit Kats, they're too tall. But these little guys, you can fit a couple of them, I think 4 of these little, oops, that one looks like someone tried to eat it. It was not me. All right, let me see. I think I have one more in here. Yep. Look at that. You can get 4 of those little guys in there. That fits beautifully. All right. And then I'm sure you could get a pack of these little Skittles maybe in here too. We'll just check. Yep, that fits nicely too. So I'm sure a pack of gummies, anything like that, would also fit in there. So you can see just a cute little treat. These would be perfect. You could put them on the tree. And then when people come, they're available. So lots of different things. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to turn this over. So this is the part that doesn't have the seam. And I cut out, I'm going to see how this looks here. I cut out this little piece for the reindeer. And I want to see if our little reindeer guy might be worth putting on here. Yeah, I think that looks kind of cute. So these are the 3 pieces from the Reindeer Fun set. That is on the last chance item. So if it's something you've thought about getting, you might want to take a look. Honestly, I don't know if it's on sale. And tomorrow, if you're watching this video, it is Sunday night, but on December 9th through the 11th, 2024, there is free shipping. So you cannot beat that for sure, because minimum, you have to place a $75 order. So minimum, you're saving $8 right there. And if you decide to sign up to be a frequent shopper or a demonstrator, join my team. It is $99 plus tax, always free shipping, and you get $125 worth of product. All right, so now we're just gonna add a little glue to this little guy, and he is gonna go on the back of those trees, like he's in the woods there. That is perfect. And now we can put a piece of ribbon around it. And this is pretty peacock. I'm going to put some of this green on here. So we'll see if that looks, how that looks. I think that should be good. And all you're going to do is take that ribbon and feed it right through your box. I'm thinking about making a bunch of these and taking them to maybe a grade school, you know, around us that maybe could use them. I don't know the protocol. You know, our kids are no longer in school, but I don't know the protocol about kids getting, you know, like having a Christmas party or whatever. But wouldn't that be fun? Get these to just some maybe less fortunate kids. I'm not sure why I'm having such a hard time getting that in there. All right, there we go. All right, so let me feed it through the other side. Another project, you guys, it was like, this is a little too challenging, so I'm gonna improvise the next time we do it. So then I just feed it through, and then I can pull that up. And there you go. There is our little treat box. This is the one I did earlier. Isn't that adorable? So you can stuff all kinds of fun little treats in there. People would love to get those. I would trim this ribbon, by the way. Let me do that right now, so that, because that is just a tad long. There we go. All right, so that is our first treat box, stocking stuffer, that you guys can make to add to people's stockings. Our second one is this super cute little candy cane holder, because anybody can give, you can give a candy cane, but this would be perfect for somebody at church or the office. You want to set something on their desk. It's much better than just putting a candy cane on their desk. You could actually make it look nice and pretty. So that's what we're doing now. You need a candy cane. By the way, you guys, these are so unbelievably old. We put them on the tree. We don't eat them. And I haven't had a chance to go and get any new ones. So here are our pieces. And now I picked a little sentiment from, and honestly, I don't know what this set, I can't remember the set, what it's called. But it has these cute little dies with it. So I'll have to list that, or, but I think it is, I don't know if it's on the last chance list or not. I think it is, but I can't remember. All right, so we're going to have to do a little bit of scoring, but let me tell you the pieces that we have. Not sure why I don't need that piece. Okay, so we have this piece right here, which is 2 inches by 8.5. So again, you can get 5 of these out of 1 piece of cardstock. Now, you do need another piece, so that might take you down to 3. This piece is 2 inches by 4 inches, and then you're going to need 2 pieces, excuse me, of designer series paper. And this is 1 7/8 by 4 inches, and this is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. Now, when you cut a strip of 1 7/8 off that designer series paper, and then you cut it down, you have like a 1/8 sliver left. So it's, again, you're not wasting a lot of paper to make these items, which is wonderful. All right, so here we go. So we are going to score first these 2 pieces right here. So let me bring in our scoring tool. So the longer piece that is 2 by 8.5, you are going to score it at 2 inches and 2.5. So pretty, again, a lot of these measurements are pretty straightforward. So we have 2 inches and 2, oops, did I do that right? Yep, 2 inches and then 2.5 inches. I looked at a whole bunch of these little candy cane holders, and this is the one I thought was the easiest, used the least amount of paper, and was just pretty straightforward. So this one you're going to score at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch. So a 1/2 inch, 1 inch. Oops, let me bring this down so you guys can see. Sorry about that. A 1/2 inch, 1 inch. Then you're going to flip it around and do the same thing. You're going to score it at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch. All right, there we go. And that is that. Now we just need to put it together. So again, let's bring in our bone folder, and we will take these 2 and we'll just burnish our lines so that they're nice and straight here. And we'll do the other 2. Now, this one, you can do it a couple different ways. You can put it on the outside, which is the way I'm going to show you. Some of the other videos I saw, they actually put it on the the inside over here. So again, totally up to you, whatever way you want to do it. All right. But I think I'm going to do it on the outside. So all we're going to do is we are going to put some adhesive first right in this middle square again. You guys should notice a little bit of a theme here, right? Oops, don't want the glue on the glass mat. All right, and then we're by the way, just remind everybody, you guys can order that glass mat. It is available now. It was only available if you joined Stampin' Up, and now it's out there, and it is very nice. It is awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure this is nice and straight. And then I am going to take these two tabs here, and I'm gonna add adhesive to those. And then I'm going to just line them right up on the back side of my piece of cardstock. So I'm going to bring it straight up and then line up the edges here. So again, I just want to make sure I have this nice and flush on the side. And go to the other side and make sure it is nice and flush. So let me tell you what I would suggest you do is take your fingers and put them on the side and then run your bone folder along the edge. Okay, so you want to make sure it's flat here. And then like this one, you can see is not quite up against. So we just want to make sure that we get that right up against the edge. And that is it. That is all there is to that one. And now we get to decorate it. And then we're going to add some holes here. So this piece I am going to add to the top, and it's going to go into the box just a little bit. So I'm going to start it right here and get a border, even border all the way around, and then just press that down. And this is another one of those beautiful pieces. It has candy canes like all around the outside. And then the middle just looks with, it has like snowflakes on it. And that's the piece we're going to put right here. Okay. And we're just going to lay that right there on the front. And of course, you guys can decorate these a ton. You could put to from, all kinds of things. We're going to put this sweet as sugar plum candy on the front. But first, we're going to go ahead, excuse me, and we are going to poke a couple holes here for our ribbon. So this right here, you'll see we have this piece of ribbon and we have it going through the back. All right. Now, if you have, excuse me, a hole punch, that's what I would use. I would suggest you use a hole punch. However, I don't have a hole punch right now. I think you guys have heard my sob story, right? So I'm just going to poke a hole, and then I'm going to go to the other side and poke another hole. Now I don't want them too far. I kind of want them to be behind the candy cane, right? Not like completely behind, but I need a big enough hole to get my ribbon through. There we go. I think that will work. But again, if you have a little hole punch, if not, this Take Your Pick tool is amazing, and you can just run it right there through. And now we're going to take a piece of this, our green ribbon, and we will just take it through one side here. And then I keep thinking, Stampin' Up, I keep hoping they're going to come out with like one of those little, they used to sell, I think, the crocodile or whatever. So I think I'm just going to go and buy one of those. They make one that has a bunch of different size hole punches. So I think I'm actually going to pick one of those up the next time I go to the craft store. All right, so, oops. So now I'm going to go ahead and feed this right in through this side. And when I think I have enough for a bow here, which I think that will be good, we'll just trim this off. All right. All right, and now we're going to take our candy cane, and it slides right in like that. We're going to tie our ribbon. And now you guys could too just put some glue dot or a little adhesive on that candy cane too, if you preferred doing that instead of doing the ribbon. Either way, but there we go. There is our pretty ribbon. And now we're going to go ahead and adhere this to the front, and we'll use a couple dimensionals for that. Oops. So again, great little stocking stuffer if you guys are looking for something, or just something, you know, taking like all three of these and putting them in a little bag and putting them in the mailbox with a gift card for your postman. And they would, I think, love that. So there you go. So that is our second little stocking stuffer. So now we'll move on to number 3, and we are going to make this fun little guy. It is a little purse. Look at this. Maybe not your mailman for this one, unless you have a male gal, but you could also use some masculine paper. But look at that. You can stuff all kinds of things in here too. Let's just look, and then we'll make one. So yeah, this one will certainly fit the Skittles. I think you can fit maybe one of these. Yep, the larger candy bars, they will lay in here. Oops, there we go. And you can fit 2 of them in there. You can see. You can fit, or we can fit a couple of these little guys too. And then it still closes up right here. So look at that. Isn't that, I just love it. That's just so adorable. Okay, so we're gonna make our own now. We're gonna make one, show you guys how to do that. Okay, so the pieces we need for this one, and I have some other ribbon as well. So again, we're gonna need a piece of designer series paper, and this is 6x6. So that is another nice thing. You can use 6x6 paper or cut it down like a piece of 12x12. So this is awesome. If you guys have a bunch of this left over, you can make 48 of them. All right, then I have a couple pieces of cardstock. So I have 2 pieces here that are 1/2 inch by 3 inches. And these are for the border piece here, this border piece at the top. Then I have 2 pieces that are, these are 1/4 inch by 5 inches. And these are the handles. The one I did here was 3/8 of an inch, and I just thought they were too wide. So we're going to see if these work. All right. Then I have a piece that is 1 inch by 2.5, and this is for our clasp. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. Let me show you. This is very simple as far as our scoring goes. So it's 6x6, so it doesn't matter what side we start on. We are, well, I shouldn't say that. If it's directional, you have to consider, you'll have to consider that. So I will show you that here in a moment. So first score line is 1.5. And our second score line is 4.5. Okay, so 1.5 and 4.5. Then you're going to rotate it, and you're going to go 2.5 and 3.5. Okay. So that is it for our score lines. And now we're going to need to do a little cutting here. Okay, and where we're going to cut is on, let me go ahead and just, So where we're going to cut our lines is, this right here is the small side. We're going to cut these 4 lines there. So let me get out the longer scissors here. And we're going to cut there. And we're going to cut down on that side. I'm going to turn it. There. And turn it. And cut right. And we're cutting always right to the first score line. Okay, so this is what we end up with. Now, so we have these two, if that makes sense. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take both of these flaps and we're going to bring them in and glue them together. Okay. So let's just start kind of one by one here. And we're going to glue this one and put it right in there, right up against that first score line. And again, just make sure that you watch those edges, that they're nice and flush. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and glue this side too. Now, obviously, the more sides you glue, sometimes it can get a little more tricky to get everything lined up, but I think you can do this. Okay, there we go. So we're going to make sure that's nice and flush as well. And now we're going to take the other side and we are going to adhere it to the inside of the box. So again, get our adhesive on here. And I was thinking, I want to try to figure out or make one that's like bigger, like with a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So got to do some looking up on that one. I also found a super nice gift bag, and I think we've gone over it before, but I thought, oh, always worth maybe showing it again. So I'm going to put some adhesive here. Oops. I kind of just, when I saw it, I liked the way the person did some of the kind of the designer work of it, so to speak. So it looked like a designer bag. All right, so here we go. Now you guys can do this with cardstock or with designer series paper, either one. I thought for these, because they're kind of Christmassy, I thought they would be better with just the regular designer series paper. Now we're going to take these 2 small flaps and we're going to just go ahead and adhere those toward the top on both sides, and this just gives us a little bit of reinforcement, but I think now you could put those also at the very bottom if you would prefer to do that, or you can put them in both places. So here we go. Or you don't even have to do this piece at all either. So this, again, this part is a little bit optional. And I think if you wanted to make it, you know, so it doesn't look like a purse, you could just make it a small bag and have the clasp come over, and you don't even need, it looks a little bit more like a carpet bag at that point than it does maybe a purse. Okay, so there we go. So now what we're going to do is we want to add, let's add the middle part next. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lay this down and fold it, kind of fold it over a little bit. Okay, we want to make sure though it's straight. So you're just going to kind of fold it half there. Now, I want to give it an angle. So you can either just cut an angle. I'm going to go ahead and use this punch that creates this angle right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and feed this piece of cardstock right in there, and then it's going to give me that little tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive on one side, and then the other side is just going to look like that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to do that next. That way it can kind of be closing. Oops. you know, kind of get a chance to adhere there for a little while. So I'm going to just find the middle, eyeball the middle, and push it all the way down to that where I kind of folded it in half, and just push that down. Now on the other one, I closed it using these mini little Velcro circles. So that's what I'm using here. I got these on Amazon. So if you guys look up these V keys, they're great. You get a boatload of them, and they really are nice. So you have the clear side, which I'm going to make sure is at the bottom of the box, and I'm going to put it right here on top of the fuzzy side. Okay. So then when I put this on, I'm going to make sure that fuzzy side is at the is in the top center of my tab. And then I'm just going to bring it down and close it and let the other side adhere. So super easy to use. The only thing I will say is give it a chance to set. I wouldn't try, you know, grabbing it right away to open it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our handles on. So what you do is you take the two ends and you're just going to kind of move them out like that. Okay. So if this is, you're just going to move them out so that they're like this. Now on the other ones, what I did was I used brads to put them in, but that was more work than I care to do. I mean, honestly, if you really want to make one that's fancy, go ahead and use brads, and I'll show you. Stampin' Up! Has those. For these, I am just going to put them right up here at the top. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that they are evenly placed there, because I don't really want them below my piece of cardstock here. So I'm just going to make sure they're kind of even as far as where they are. This one's probably a little bit further maybe, but that's okay. Oops, there we go. So I'm going to put those on that side, and then I'm going to turn it over and do the exact same thing. I'm just going to run my finger over it to give it a little bit of flexibility. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on both sides. Again, this is not holding anything too terribly heavy. I don't know if you guys have seen either, but so, you know, you can put lots of things in here besides candy. I don't know if you've ever seen those little mini, they're like mini highlighters. Those would fit in here. They're super small. They make pens. They're like pocket size. That would be something cute in here if you wanted to buy some, and you could pass them out at church or something like that for people to use in their Bibles. That's kind of cool. All right, so here we go. All right, so now if I open this up, again, I just want to make sure, give it a, like I said, give it a chance. And there you go. So now you have those two little handles. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of these little peppermint, and we're going to put those at the corner. So it kind of looks like kind of little buttons maybe on our handles. That's kind of cool. So again, this is like a perfect way if you have some smaller pieces of designer series paper, a couple extra of these embellishments. This is a great way to use them. And we'll just put these on each side there. And look at that. Isn't that just adorable? And then we can fill it with our little treats. But there you go, guys. Let me show you all of our, so this one we put a little ribbon on, and we had an embellishment there, which that's a good, you know, we'll still do that on this one too. We'll put a candy on the clasp. There you go. So that is one of our creations. And then we have our candy cane holders here. So again, you can decorate the front, not decorate the front, you know, up to you guys. And then of course, we have our little treat boxes. So there you go. And again, you guys can add, take away, but the point of this is to make them fairly easy for you to stuff some fun treats or cash or whatever you would like. You could do candy sticks on these or chocolate spoons, all kinds of fun things in there. It's a nice size box. It doesn't have to be just for a candy cane. All right, you guys, hope you love this video. If you do, please like, share, subscribe, and we will see you again next week. All right, bye everyone.